Sree namaha. With the divine blessings of our Mother Divine Lalita Mahatripura Sundari and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva, we are continuing to make efforts to understand the very powerful, very cryptic Soundarya Lahari, diving from Lalita Sahasranama. Today we will make an attempt to understand the next Slokam, the 49th one. Before we get started with it, let's offer our prayers at the lotus feet of our divine parents. श्रीकान्तो मातृस्य जन्नी सर्वमङ्गलाः जनकाः शङ्करो महादेवः त्वं वन्दे गजाननम् विमलपटी कमलकुटी पुस्तकरुद्राक्षसहस्तहस्तपुटी कामाक्षी पक्ष्मलाक्षी कलितविपञ्ची विभासि वैरिञ्ची मनोजवं मारुतुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयुतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने जयत्यति बलो रामो लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयत् सुग्रीवो राघवेणाभिपालितः दासोऽहं कौसलेन्द्रस्य रामस्य क्लिष्टकर्मणः हनुमान् शत्रुसैन्यानां निहन्ता मारुतात्मजः न रावणं सहस्रमे युद्धे प्रतिबलं भवेत् शिलाभिस्तु प्रहृतपादपैश्च सहस्रशर्धत्वं प्रीलङ्काम् अभिवाच्य च मैथिलीं समृद्धार्दो गमिष्यामिष्टां सर्वरक्षसाम् गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां विश्चय भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिमाधारं सर्वविद्यानां महैग्रीवमुपास्महे शिवशक्त्यायुक्तो यदि भवति शक्तव्रतं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलस्पन्दितुमिपतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिर्प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कदमकृतपुण्यं भवति भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं. Now, in today's class, we will discuss the next slokam, which is Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ajya Kuvalaya Krupa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madara Bhogavatika Avanti Drishtiste Bahunagara Vistara Vijaya Dhruvam Tattan Nama Vyavana Yogya Vijayate. So this slokam talks about mother's eyes. We have discussed many times Mukha Shankara, who came as one of the acharyas of Kanchikamakoti Pitam, has composed the Mukha Panchasati, and he has composed 500 shlokas. Mukha Pancha Sati. Sati is 100, Pancha is 5, Mukha is the person who could not speak. Now, dumb person. He actually got the power, Vak Siddhi, and he composed 500 shlokas about mother. And thus, those 500 shlokas, 100 shlokas he has composed only on Kataksha Satakam, essentially on the eyes, the vision of mother, 100 shlokas. And the motivation for those 100 shlokas, obviously he was witnessing Kanchi Kamakshi right in front of him. But the motivation comes from this slokam. Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kovalayai Kribha Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madura Bhogavatika Avanti Drishtiste Bahunagara Vistara Vijaya Dhruvam Tattan Nama Vyavana Yogya Vijayate. So this talks about Visala, mother's eyes. You see a mother, no matter what work she is doing, she always has her eyes and attention on her kids. Similarly, the mother of mothers, Lalita Tripur Sundari, is watching all her creations to protect them, from Akala Mrityu, from Adharma, from anything that comes to impact them. But mother also has to give in way to the karmic results, and therefore, though she will try to protect, she will also be bound by the karmic cycle of her own babies, right? All of us. Now, and how do we get rid of these karmic cycles? We have done knowingly or unknowingly, punyas, papas. There will come a time where we will have an awakening within us that no matter how much material riches we have, no matter how much money we have, no matter how many properties we have, there will be a thirst that won't be quenched by these materialistic pleasures, materialistic wealth. And there we will start making an attempt to walk towards Mother. This is very beautifully described as the journey of Kundalini in Sri Suktam that we will discuss, which was composed by various saints and which has been put as the pearls on a necklace and offered to us. Kardama composed some, Satikala composed some, Vasista composed a couple of lines. And when Mother emerged as Mahalakshmi, when the ocean of milk was churned, right? Lakshmi emerged out. That's when Sree emerged out and the Sri Suktam came into effect. But Sri Suktam was not given in its completeness at that point in time. Different yogis have experienced the journey of Kundalini and they have kept composing couple of lines which has been aggregated and given to us as Sri Suktam that we'll discuss in future names of Lalita Sahasranamam. But coming back to Vishala, Vishala essentially is mother's one of the names is Visalakshi. Akshi means eyes. Vishala means widespread gaze of mother because the caterpillars, the bats, the crocodiles, the alligators, us, the cockroaches, every creation in this cosmos. Remember, her name is Abrahmakita Janani. She is the mother of all the creations, not just the beautiful ones. Every being is mothered by her. She gives birth to all this cosmos through her cosmic womb, the temple at Kamakya that we pray to. Right now, this Vishala essentially talks about when mother's eyes are wide. What does it mean? No matter where I go, I might travel to Europe, I might travel to US, I might travel to Cochin, I might travel to Kanyakumari, I might travel to Kashmir, I might travel to Northeast, I might go to Southwest. Doesn't matter. Wherever I go, I know my mother is continuing to protect me, and my mother's gaze is continuing to keep an eye on me from me the slipping out of the clutches of dharma and slipping into adharma, right? Virtuousness. So she will ensure that she protects us when we start reaching out to her. But we have to ask genuinely, Mother, I'm tired of these janmas. I'm tired of all these materialistic pleasures. I'm tired of all these bodily connections, bodily relations that have come from this and that will go away when this body goes, what in Sanskrit we call the Nadi and or Madhu and Kaitaba. The story of the demons who are born from the earwax of Vishnu. What does that story tell us? Madhu in Sanskrit means honey. Kaitaba essentially means all the insects that get attracted towards Madhu. When the Madhu and Kaitaba who are born, this is the story from Devi Purana, who are born from Vishnu's earwax, have looked up in those Pralaya Jalas, they looked at an Brahma, old man who is sitting and meditating. This Madhu and Kaitaba wanted to go fight with Brahma, okay? Because they did not know how to entertain themselves, they reached out to Brahma, poking him to fight. Brahma said, I can't fight with you people. You have to fight with the one who actually is your father and my father also, who is in deep sleep yoga nidra. And then they tried waking him up and they could not. When Brahma prayed to his father, saying, these adharmic fellows who are born out of your malinam, the earwax, right? When our body sleeps, it produces earwax, it produces all the dust gathered in the eye. There's all the dust and impurities that are gathered in our body that are getting cleaned and cleared by the body when we go to the temporary death, which is nothing but sleep. Sleep is permanent death. Sleep is temporary death. Death is nothing but permanent sleep. Now, when we sleep under the influence of Mahamaya and Rudra, who cause the temporary layam or sleep, then our body cleanses itself. And in that process of cleansing, it produces malinams or the dust that is gathered on the body. Now you see plaque forming on the teeth. All of this essentially is needs to be cleansed out. So when Vishnu slept in Yoga Nidra under the influence of Yogamaya, Madhu and Kaitaba are born. So Vishnu actually fought with them for many thousands of years after waking up to the prayer of Brahma, and Mahamaya pulled out Vishnu from the Yogamaya, and therefore he woke up from Yoga Nidra and fought with them. Then Vishnu could not defeat Madhu and Kaitaba. Okay, but they appreciated the warrior tacts and the warrior, skills that Vishnu demonstrated in the fight with both of them, and they became little merciful towards Vishnu, saying, "We are two of us, and he is one, and he's like a fatherly figure for us. So we will give him a boon." So they asked, "Oh, Father, we will give you a boon. What boon do you want?" Then Vishnu said, "Both of you should be die. Both of you should die in my hands." And then Vishnu kept them on his thighs and severed them using the Sudarshana Chakram given to Vishnu by Shiva. Now, what is the importance of this? What does it mean Vishnu is sleeping? They went and tried disturbing Brahma. It's a nice story to listen to, but how is it applicable to us, you, me, and the current generations? How is it applicable to the contemporary folks? So, when we are taken over by Yoga Nidra, Yoga Maya, of Yoga Maya, whatever we deserve, yoga, ayoga is yoga and ayoga. Yoga is what we deserve, what is natural to us based on the karma. When we get material riches, when we get property, when we get married and have kids, and we have the Asta Aishwaryas, which are the 8 forms of Lakshmi, right? Vidya Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, so Santana Lakshmi. Unknowingly, we get ego. Okay, we think we are controlling everything, therefore, and that when the yoga comes, along with that yoga, Maya also comes, which tries to wheel us, causes ego, causes, you know, the aham spurana, saying, I am doing everything, I am the karta, kriya, and I'm the cause, I'm the effect of everything. It's because of my skills, my abilities I'm able to do. So this I ego will continue to increase. And that's when Yogamaya takes over us. And then what happens? Madhu, the honey, which causes intoxication, saying, I am this, I am that, I have so much money, I have so much bank balance, I have all this materialistic wealth. What can anybody do? That which is born out of our aham spurana is very sweet. The ego is very sweet to us. That is compared to the madhu. When you have material riches, when you have power, you will see a lot of relatives who otherwise don't even know existed start reaching out to you for help. This essentially is compared to when you keep a drop of honey on a table or floor, you will see all the ants and insects, flies come to that madhu to drink. The moment you clean that madhu, drop of madhu, all the insects get dispersed away. In this context, our body, which is the house of all the ego, which is the root of all the I have this, I have that, I have the power, I am the supreme. All this ego amplifying instrument, the root cause of it is the body. So that is the madhu. From this body, the kids have been born. This body is married to the significant other, wife or husband. Now, if this body is gone, the same wife or husband will throw that body, which is now called dead body, into fire or bury them, depending on the tradition. They'll not even keep it for 1 or 2 days. Right? They get scared. The same loved ones get scared of the body. What happened? The Shivatvam in that body went away. So the Madhu, the sweet sounding body, which no longer is responding, has gone from Shivam to Shavam. So Madhu is gone. Therefore, all these kaitabas that are connected to the nadis from na, nenu, na, in Sanskrit, it essentially means I, me. All the derivatives that are come from this body, which I constantly recognize and identify with I and me, the moment this I and me goes away as dead body, all the derivatives that have come from this body will throw this body away and walk away from. So when Vishnu is able to kill Madhu and Kaitaba, how did Vishnu kill? He had to get detachment from his own creation. So we have to get detached from our own materialistic wealth, our own, like Gautama became the Buddha when he saw a dead body. He realized, what is all this? He got married, he had a baby called, his son Siddhartha. The moment he was going on a chariot, he saw a dead body. He realized one day, even I will be like this. Then my beloved people will carry my body and throw away. So, what is the purpose of life? And he went and sat in the Pavitra Bhumi of Varanasi, about few kilometers away from Varanasi, under the Gaya. The place is called Gaya, Bodha Gaya, under the Vatavruksam, and he got enlightenment, okay, using a method called Anapana Sati, or the so-called Vipassana. Vipassana is nothing but observing your thoughts in silence, which is a surgical procedure without using any equipment. You are doing a surgery on your thoughts. You are doing an surgery on your internal ego. You are constantly trying to observe. If you look at people who are trying to do Vipassana, which is basically 9 nights and 10 days of observing silence, a lot of people run away from Vipassana because you're not allowed to observe the eye contact, you're not allowed to talk to people, you're not allowed to document anything. So being in silence is not easy. It's the most difficult thing. A lot of people run away from that day 2 or day 3 when they can't listen to their internal chatter, which is the most intense conversation. This has been documented in our Vedas as Maunavratas, as sadhanas, dikshas, which Gautama Buddha has given as anapanasati, because Buddhism is a derivative of Sanatana Dharma. Now, how did Vishnu killing Madhu and Kaitaba applicable to us? When Vishnu, who is the god of maintenance, Titikaratvam, when we are alive, we are also consumed by Yoga Maya. And our Yoga Maya, when it consumes us, Madhu and Kaitaba, the material riches that are born out of our so called abilities, when they do the intoxication to us, what happens is we have to get out of the deep slumber or deep sleep that we are in which we continue to continue to be under the illusion that we are the karta karma kriya for everything, right? Thinking we are doing everything, it's our abilities, our money that is bringing in everything. Who woke you up this morning when you got up? Who is digesting the food in your body? Who is ensuring the blood is continuing to flow? Who is ensuring you are able to inhale and exhale? None of this. No matter how much money you have, people have seen this during COVID time. No matter how much money they had, when they were sick, they couldn't get a cylinder of oxygen. Now it's useless. All of this materialistic wealth, right? Unless someone else is ensuring the Sivatvam in you and I, we being alive, Bhavati, is continuing. And that realization that there's somebody else who is ensuring we wake back up from the sleep, who's ensuring we continue to breathe when we sleep, who is ensuring when I speak, my tongue is getting sufficiently wet. So I don't flutter forward words at the same time. I don't get hiccups when I'm speaking at the same time. So it's continuing to convert the thoughts into talk in a language that I'm choosing to talk by providing the words into sentences as para pashanti madhyama vaikari. The moment I realize this and say there is a supreme force that is enabling me, I am praying to that yoga maya. And Brahma coming and praying to Vishnu essentially means I, I'm born. From the moment I'm born, I did not take care of this body. My mother breastfed me to some time, but who ensured my mother continued to lactate and give that milk to me in the form of colostrum, the first milk that continued to infuse immunity in me when I did not have any protection around me. My body just born was a sitting duck inviting the mosquitoes, the flies, the cockroaches that could come and attack. Who protected me when my biological mother was sleeping? Who protected me from all these dangers? That's not my relatives, that's not my biological parents. The Maya, the so-called Yoga Maya, the Sree Mata continued to protect me because I still had some karma to ensure that I grow up and do certain functions that are to do prosperity for me. And because of my existence, there should be a meaning to this cosmos. I should cause some positive ripples, not negative ripples. Therefore, she will continue to make me an instrument in her hand to spread the Loka Kalyanatvam. That when we realize that is the Brahma going and praying to Vishnu, saying, this being is born now. Please protect this being by the power that you are blessed with because of the Karuna, Vishala Karuna of Yoga Maya. That Maya, which can also make you sleep, O Vishnu, ensure this being, which is constantly in under the illusion of Maya, awakens with the help of that Yoga Maya and the yogas that this being is undergoing, let him or her realize that none of this is his or her own doing. They can always slip the path because of the Kali Purusha, but somebody is protecting them, ensuring they are not getting derailed and walking ahead because of the 1% of the efforts they're putting in and 99% of the avyaja karuna, the infinite mercy that energy is protecting them from the drishti dosha of Kali, drishti dosha of the other beings who are jealous. Oh, why are they becoming so prosperous? Oh, why are they getting all the benefits? Why are they peaceful? People cannot see others being peaceful. All this negative drishti dosha, negative gaze is being protected. Is our body, our family, our prosperity is being protected by that Vishala Tattvam of Mother. Okay. And this, when we realize Mother will send the Stitikara, the god of sustenance, Vishnu. And when we are continuing to pray to Vishnu, what will Vishnu do? Vishnu will take the help of Lord Shiva, who is the god of death. And by praying to Lord Shiva, Vishnu gets Sudarshanam, the beautiful, sweet darshanam of Shiva. And therefore, when Vishnu took Ramavataram, he could kill all the Rakshasas when he was in touch with the Rudramsa Hanuman. Until Hanuman came into the picture, even Rama could not kill all the mighty Rakshasas, right? When in in Mahabharatam, the reason Krishna requested Hanuman to be on Kapiraju, Jandapai Kapiraju, right? Because without Rudramsa, nothing can be killed, and therefore Sri Krishna always uses his Sudarshana disc to kill all the Rakshasas, because only with the touch of Rudra, people, the Dharma can be established by killing. So when Vishnu takes his Sudarshana chakra to kill Madhu and Kaitaba that are born from his own body, we are praying to the Lord Shiva using our existence, Stitikaratvam. So when we are surviving, we are being protected by Vishnu. When Vishnu is protecting us, we are praying to Shiva. And when we pray to Shiva, what happens? Shiva gives us vairagyam, detachment. Oh, you have so much money, but this money cannot buy me even 1 minute extra time. Make hay while sun shines. Oh, God, Shiva. Please help me realize the true vairagyatvam, the detachment. None of these materialistic pleasures, materialistic wealth I have cannot even extend my life by 1 second, right? Then for, and none of this currency, this material wealth that I have accumulated in this planet, I can carry it forward after this planet. When I leave the body and go, the Jivatma goes. I cannot take any of this. Whatever I've earned has to go back and live only on this planet. So this will be enjoyed and consumed by the derivatives, the nadis, the kaitabas that have come from this. And they love me because of whatever material wealth I brought in here. The moment that material wealth goes away, nobody cares for me. Okay. Very few who might really care for my whatever loka kalyanatvam I brought in. Only they will come seeking what the material wealth can buy them. And those are the true aspirants, and those are the people who will who will also walk the path of vairagya. Okay. Now, this is the brief story of Madhukaitabhas on how it is applicable to us, and how Vishnu killing Madhukaitabha essentially means we have to kill the ego that continues to rise up as a sweet fountain, saying, I have done this, I bought that, I gifted you this, I am the reason you have this, I'm the reason even I have this, I bought this house. That is Madhu. And everybody who is enjoying those fruits, our kids, our relatives, our friends, our servants, all of them are enjoying all these benefits, and therefore they love us. The moment all that we provide is gone, majority of these people will walk away from us. And that is a test of true love. This is how the Devi Bhagavatam's Madhukaitaba story is applicable to us. Now, coming into this slokam, Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalai. Vishala essentially means my mother's eyes, no other's eyes can give me that bliss. When I look at my mother's eyes, no matter how much fear, how much anxiety I have, I will naturally get a state of bliss and composure because of the excitement that I get looking into my mother's eyes. And my biological mother, the moment I hug my mother, touch her feet, I feel a level of confidence because I'm not able to see that mother of mothers, Lalitamba. She is present as my biological mother. So I continue to touch her, take her blessings, look into her eyes, and get confidence. Now, if I progress through the stages and look at Lalitamba's Avyaja Karuna filled eyes, immediately I get the bliss, and that bliss removes all the sankshobhas that I have, all the sufferings that are making me tremble with fear, that are making me feel insecure. That is Vishala. Kalyani. The moment I am looking at my mother's eyes, it's causing me auspiciousness. Kalyanatvam essentially means prosperity, auspiciousness. Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalayai. Sputaruchi essentially means Ayodhya Kuvalaya. Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalaya means Ayodhya is the place where no warrior dared to go and fight because of the fear of that place. Sputaruchi Ayodhya essentially means fully blossomed. Sputaruchi. Because mother is looking at me with her eyes wide open, nobody dares to come interfere with my businesses. Whether it is any karmic results, whether it is any results that the planets have to give, whether it is the Kali Purusha that has to intervene with it, whether it is anything else that has to. Sputaruchi Ayodhya, nobody is able to come closer. Why Sputaraja? Kuvalayai. The other meaning of this is if you have seen the Egyptian lotus, which is light blue lotus, water lotus it is called. In between it is yellowish, looks very beautiful. Mother's eyes look at, when mother eyes, you look at it, it appears in that light sky blue color, which is fully blossomed water lily. Why is mother's eyes looking blue, looking at her husband, who is the Nilakanta, she realized, how can anybody be so selfless like you, my dear husband? You have swallowed the halahalam when Devas and Rakshasas have been fighting and churning the ocean of milk for Amrita, when the first thing that came is halahala. And they came running to you asking you to swallow, and you swallowed. When the drop of halahala was burning the land and making it a barren land, you took all the halahala and drank it and kept it in your Vishuddhi chakra. And from your Vishuddhi chakra, the sound of all the Maheshwara Sutras are coming. Using those sounds, our kids are chanting your names, my mantras. And I'm looking at your infinite ocean of merciness on how you consumed the halahalam becoming Nilakanta. And when mother's eyes are looking at it, her eyes became little humid because of the tears of bliss that it gathered, thinking of the mercy that Father Shiva has on all the creations. Everybody thinks I'm the mother, I have infinite ocean, but nobody knows your mercy, my dear husband. They only think you burned down Manmada and you are very harsh, but they don't understand your mercy. And therefore, thinking of that mother's eyes gently teared up with tears of bliss. In those tears of bliss, the blue reflection of Shiva's throat came in, appearing like the blue lotus that is fully blossomed. Mother's eyes are fully open. That is essentially what we mean by Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalayai. Kripa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madhura Bhogavatika. Kripa Dhara Dhara essentially means when I look at your eyes, Mother, the merciness is flowing. This is Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya's poetic prowess. Kripa Dhara Dhara. How the mercy is flowing? It is flowing like a flood, not like a drop. And when I look at you, Mother, of that little tears of bliss in those, I see your eyes are pouring oceans of mercy into me because you are choosing to look at me. Kripa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madhura Bhogavatika. And that essentially means Madhura. We spoke about Madhu is honey. Honey essentially means very attractive look. Okay, very sweet look. Kimapi Madhura Bhogavatika. What does Bhogavatika means? When we are looking at mother and her eyes are intoxicated, Bhogavati essentially means looking at something with lust, with erotic thoughts, with bhogam. Who looks at, why would a mother look at us with bhogam? When we are looking at mother, Kimapi Madhura, that ocean of mercy that is flowing at us, what happens when we are looking at mother? There is Shakti Patam that is happening, the energy that flows from mother's eyes into our eyes, whether we are closing our eyes and meditating, looking at the mother's eyes, which are always open. Unmesh Nimshotpanna Vipanna Bonavadi. If she closes, the end of the cosmos comes, right? So it's always open. When we look at it, unknowingly we close our eyes and internally start meditating on the third eye. Then the Kundalini starts moving with erotic thoughts. To why erotic thoughts? To become one with the Bhogi Yogi Shiva who is in the Sahasratalam in order to convert him into a Bhogi. And that Shiva, which is who is in the form of Mahayogi, will only convert to Mahabhogi when he looks at his beloved wife, our mother, and that Bhogavatika, when it unites, the eyes that are full of lust goes and unites with the yogi Shiva in the Sahasralam in order to convert him into a Bhogi. What happens? All the 72,000 nadis in our body get charged up with positive energy like no other that we have seen. And that's what this line means. Kripa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madhura Bhogavatika, when mother goes and meets with father, our body forgets the physical limitations that it has. It will no longer have thirst, it will no longer have hunger, it will no longer have emotional feelings, it will just sit in samadhi. This is how many yogis sit in samadhi for a long time. And when they reach that state, the tongue naturally folds back and touches the epiglottis at the back. And when the tongue folds back and touches the up, the bottom of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. This is called Kechari Mudra. Okay, this Kechari Mudra, what happens is when we are in deep meditation, naturally the tongue starts folding back. When the bottom of the tongue starts touching the roof of the mouth, and as the tongue starts, this needs to be, if people do it yogically, they need to train in it. When people do naturally in meditation, the tongue goes back and touches this junction, which is the Varanasi, the bridge of the nose, where Ida and Pingala cross. And at that point in time, that Amritam that flows from the union of Shiva and Shakti in us continues to wet all our 72,000 nadis. And that is what they mean by Krupa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madhura Bhogavatika. When mother goes and meets, that Amritam flows internally in our body, winning all the physical limitations our body, therefore helping us get into samadhi. Avanti Drishtiste Bahunagara Vistara Vijaya. There are seven moksha puris that we generally talk about. What are those seven moksha puris we talk about? Ayodhya. First is Ayodhya. Second is Madura. Ayodhya is where Rama was born, the Sun dynasty. Madura is where Krishna was, grew up. Madura. Third one is Ayodhya, Madura, Maya. Maya is Haridwar. And Kasi is the fourth one. Then we have Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kasi. Then we have Kanchipuram, where Mother Goddess Kamakshi is there. Avanti, Avantika is nothing other than the Ujjaini Nagaram, where Mahakal and Kali are there today. And the seventh one is Dwaraka. Okay. And these are the Sapta Moksha Puris that we have. These are nothing but the seven chakras that we have, right? Mooladharam, Swadhisthana, Anahatam, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agya, Sahasratalam. Okay. As we start ascending up, depending on how much we are looking into Mother's eyes constantly and meditating, the Kundalini raises across the different chakras. And as it crosses each of these chakras, it gives a different level of detachment and liberation. Okay. And for all of us who are born, you would notice Rama and Krishna. When Rama he was born like a normal human being. But Rama's dead body was never found. He just walked into Sarayu Nadi and became one with Mahavishnu. When Krishna was born with the Narayana Avataram with four hands, right? He told Vasudeva and Devaki that, I'm being born to you. When Krishna's dead body was found, it was found like a normal human body. So Rama was born like a normal human, but his dead body was never found. He went into Sarayu Nadi, they say he took Jalasamadhi and went into Mahavishnu. When Krishna he was born like Paramatma, but when he died like a normal person, just to show. But both are not normal avatars. Okay. And Rama was born in Ayodhya, Krishna was born, in Dwaraka, the place where he dwelled. He went into Dwaraka. Right after his death, the whole Dwaraka Puri, completely submerged under water as well. Now, these Sapta Moksha Puris that we can go physically look at are the seven places that have got enough glance. When mother is looking at everything with her widespread eyes, these are the seven places where mother paused her eye for few seconds and looked at it for a little longer. Therefore, those seven places gathered a lot more power than the other places. Okay. And when we go to these moksha puris, the energy receiving capacity on our body chakras increases. Therefore, the spiritual capacity in us increases. And therefore, our ancestors would always go to these moksha puris, right? Where you go to Ayodhya now, we have the great Rama temple. Mathura, you have the Krishna temple. Haridwar, the entry to the Himalayas. Hari ka dwar is Haridwar. Kasi or Mahasmasanam Varanasi. We have Kanchipuram, the Nabisthalam, where our connection with mother. Therefore, we say Kada Kanchiki Mano Intiki. Eventually our story has to go back to that mother from whom we have come, but probably not in this Janma. That's what our biological mother says. Avanti is essentially Mahakal, the one who can take us beyond time and merge us with him, and the keeper of time, Kali Devi. Dwaraka or Dwaravati, essentially realizing the Astamurti Tattvam. Krishna is the eighth avataram, right? On how Shiva and Parvati both have the eight limbed. That's essentially what is listed here, Vishala, Kalyani, Ayodhya, Dhara, Madura, Bhogavati. Six we have discussed. Avanti. Avanti is when mother looked at Avantika Nagaram, she essentially ensured time paused there for a moment. Therefore, Shiva appeared there as Mahakal, the one who is beyond time and the death of death god Yama. That is seventh one is Avanti the Drishti. The eighth one is Vijaya, when we are we come over all the other intoxication, victory, when we come over every other feeling of our body, including, you know, the timeliness. The seventh one we talked about is Avanti, which is essentially where time pauses. When would the time pause? When you are doing something you enjoy, you're studying, and you are enjoying the subject so much, you just realize, oh my God, 2 hours passed by. You didn't realize. So you forgot time as a dimension. When you are doing puja, you sat there to do puja for half an hour. Nobody is at home. You start enjoying the puja, bhajan, you have tears of bliss. You're continuing, and 2.5 hours passed by. You realized, oh my God, I just didn't realize that day you have done the real puja. When this happens, this is called you are blessed with mother's Vijaya. Essentially, what does Vijaya means? You are able to win over your physical limitations. And this is essentially what it concludes, the slokam concludes with Vijayate, when mother continues to look at us, and we are continue to focus on mother's feet, mother will up our chin and say, my dear daughter or son, look into my eyes, and she will do energy transfer called Shaktipatam. She will become our mother and Guru Mandala Rupini. When she flows energy into our body, you will start feeling the Kundalini getting vibrating, and it starts ascending up in the body. When it starts ascending up, your body will start going numb. Different people get different sensations. For some people, the body temperature goes down. For some people, the body temperature ascends up, depending on where the Kundalini is getting activated and how it is progressing through. And this is something that every devotee experiences in his or her puja without realizing. This shlokam essentially talks about accessing our own moksha puris that are there in our body, which is the seven chakras, the six chakras that we cross to get into the Sahasratalam. This is a brief attempt at bringing in, you know, Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalaya Kripa Dhara Dhara Kimapi Madura Bhogavatika Avanti Drishtiste Bahunagara Vistara Vijaya. When mother looked at Bahunagara, many nagaras, which are the many nagaras? The seven cities that we discussed about, right? Ayodhya, Madura, Maya, Kasi. Ayodhya, Madura, Maya, Kasi, Kanchi, Avantika, and the seventh one is Dwarka. These seven, essentially, you will start realizing in your own body. Where is Kanchipuram? Very easy to connect. Nabisthalam. Okay. Where is Ayodhya? Ayodhya is at the Mooladharam. When you are not scared of Kundalini Yoga, when you are not scared of the time you have to invest in sadhana, when you are not scared of, many people will scare you saying, oh, why are you doing these pujas? You can't pray to mother, you have to offer a lot of prasadams. The moment you don't have bayam, you will get started. And Mother Lalita does not have abhaya and varamudras like other gods give. Her eyes, the glances herself are the abhayas. If you look at other gods, they have abhaya mudra where they have a palm open saying you have nothing to fear. But if you look at Mother Goddess Lalita, she does not have abhaya and varamudra. Okay, her glances herself are abhaya. So Ayodhya is compared to the Mooladharam. Mathura, Mathura, where does Mathura happen? What is the sweetest thing for all of us who are born the species? Physical union is what everybody longs. Recreation, procreation is what every species, every being longs for. So that is the Mathuratvam for us. All of us think that it gives us the ultimate ecstasy and joy. So that Mathura is nothing but Swadhisthana Chakram, a little over the urinary bladder, which controls the reproductive fluids, which controls our urinary bladder, which controls our genitals, right? Which controls the changes that need to happen in the body in order to reproduce. This specific place, Mokshapuri, is compared with Mathura in our body. What is third one? Maya, Haridwar. Okay. What happens in Maya? The moment you are able to get over the Maya of lust, erotic pleasures or bodily pleasures, up to a limit, it's absolutely dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It's absolutely permitted. Right? Even our saints who used to have multiple wives with whom they actually beget kids, it's absolutely permitted. And Grihastha is the easiest ashrama to get moksha, right? But it should not be that we are constantly entangled in bodily pleasures of intoxication. It could be lust, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be other artificial, you know, substance that will continue to give us a high, which will completely make us down. The moment we are able to get over these mayas that are continuing to distract us, then we are able to focus on our Manipura Chakram, the little below around Manipura Chakram, where Vishnu gives birth to Ananta Padmanabha, right? And as the Kundalini starts ascending from the Swadhisthana Chakram going towards Haridwar, it is essentially going to invoke the Vishnu Tattvam in us. Therefore, in Lalita Sastram, we have Brahma Grandhi Vibhedini, Vishnu Grandhi Vibhedini, Rudra Grandhi Vibhedini. Where is Vishnu Grandhi? It is there around the navel. And that is where our Haridwar Maya is. Then is the Kasi. Where would Kasi be? Varanasi. We discussed Kasi is at the Agya Chakram. Okay, right after navel, we are going to Agya Chakram. Why not going to Vishuddhi and Anahatam that will come next? Vishuddhi Chakra. Kanchipuram. After Kasi, we are talking about Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram, I said, is navel, but why are we talking about heart? The attachments that we have with the body, everything that is born, you and I are born to a biological mother. What is the indication? You and I have a navel which connected the umbilical cord. If you look at gods, they don't have navel. Only Vishnu shows the navel, Ananta Padmanabha, saying the whole cosmos is created from his navel. Okay. Now, but the attachments, where do you feel the attachment? You feel the attachment with your loved ones. You hate someone, you love someone. Where do those feelings come from? Your heart. When something happens to your loved ones, you feel heavy hearted. Okay. So therefore, Kanchipuram is essentially in the Anahata Chakram, where when you show love sign, you say, my heart beats for you. Okay. Essentially, Kanchipuram, the attachment circle, is at the heart. Maya is at, or Haridwar is at Vishnu Grandhi, which is around the navel. And attachment circle, attachment seed, Kanchipuram is at, and only when we are able to detach our biological connections with all our beings that have We are born from our mother and father, and the beings that are born from us. Only then, when we detach those attachments, we will be able to connect back to our eternal mother, Kanchipuram. Right? I mean, that's the eventual state. Then, where does the time stop? We're talking about after Kanchipuram, Avanti. Where does Avanti come in? When you go into silence, what happens? You continue to forget the Vipassana or silence retreat that I was talking about. When you start doing silence, after a day or two, you will forget which day it is. You will forget which time it is. Because silence will make you forget the time dimension. Okay. When you forget the time dimension, you are crossing the Vishuddhi chakra. When you cross the Vishuddhi chakra, you are crossing the Avantika Nagaram in you. Therefore, when you go to Mahakal and come back, you essentially get a lot more control to be silent. When you want to speak and say something bad, you will not able to, you'll be able to control your speech power. You will get vak siddhi, therefore you'll be able to control and not blurt out something that you will regret later. Okay. So therefore, Vishuddhi Chakra is compared to Avantika Nagaram. Okay, as Shiva swallowed the poison, did not vomit it out or spit it out or did not swallow it in. Similarly, when you swallow the poison, you will not have that converted into hate towards somebody, or when you swallow the attachment, you will not have converted into strong love towards someone, therefore getting attached. Okay, and therefore you will be able to keep it at Vishuddhi Chakra, forgetting, going beyond the time and forgiving the people who continue to hurt you also. Then Dwaravati, Dwaraka, when that happens, the Agya Chakram, where the Dwaraka, okay, this is the door to the super consciousness of Mahayogi. And when we come through all these, even the superpowers that we get as Kundalini crosses all these chakras at different chakras, we get different siddhis. Astasiddhi Navanidike Data Asavaradina Janaki Mata. Right? Astasiddhi Pradayakam. So Astasiddhi Navanidike Data is in what we get in Hanuman Chalisa. Astasiddhi Pradayakam Vichitra in Kalabhairavashtakam also get he is the leader of the Astasiddhis and Vichitra Punya Saudhanam. So he gives Vichitra Punyam. So because Rudramsa, Shiva, Kalabhairava, all of these can give us the Astasiddhis. As we cross, as the Kundalini crosses the chakras, you tend to get siddhis and powers. If you fall for those siddhis, this door gets closed. If you don't get attached to those siddhis and saying naiti, naiti, not even this, not even this, I'm not doing my meditation or spiritual progress for these. And as it continues, the whole plane of our existence, the whole thing, the Madhu and Kaitaba that are always attached to us will get submerged. Like before Krishna left his body, the Dwaraka, people fought in Dwaraka. His own relatives, his own kids, everybody fought and killed each other. Our own people will walk away from us, not physically fighting, ensuring that our body takes a dip in the holy Dwaraka Nagaram, which essentially means all the people that have been longing for my material wealth, my physical wealth, are now gone, submerging, leaving me submerged in the super consciousness where if I take a dip in Dwaraka Samudram and get up, now my body is cleansed with all the attachments that I'm born with. And now, since I have no baggage of attachment, I am very light hearted. I'm very light bodied. Now, what happens? The Agya Chakram, there are three more chakras after Agya Chakra, Sukshma Chakras, they get activated, and when they get activated we tend to ascend. Okay, we have the Kailasa Parvatam here, and we get to the Kailasam and see the Nandi Vidya Nateshwari. As we see, as it progresses, we see Nandi, the Supreme Lord of Sri Vidya, blesses us with the secrets of Soundarya Lahari and Sri Vidya. Like he ate the 50, the 59 shlokas of Soundarya Lahari for Jagadguru Shankaracharya to write from the 42nd to the 100. Nandi will reveal the secrets of Sri Vidya to us as we are crossing the Agya Chakra, and he will accompany us to the Antarangam, the bedroom of mother and father, where nobody is allowed. Now, because our Kundalini has raised with the constant efforts and guidance of mother, our efforts and the guidance and mercy of mother, she will get dressed as the bride to be. The Parvati Kalyanam is performed in our own body, where the Yogi Shiva gets married to the Mother Goddess Parvati, who has become Aparna. She continued to do meditation and tapasya to become one with the Lord. And Nandi Maharaj essentially is the one who is dancing with looking at the union. When that union happens, you will see all the Devaganas, Bhutaganas, everything that is there in your body comes and witnesses. You will be focusing on that union where you will see all the bhutas, rakshasas, asuras, devas that are there in your own body are witnessing that kalyanam, and therefore you will reach the mokshatvam. This is the brief attempt at this very powerful slokam. Vishala Kalyani Sputaruchi Ayodhya Kuvalaya कृपा धारा धारा किमपि मधुरा भोगवतिका avanti दृष्टिस्ते बहुनगर विस्तार vijaya. O mother, you looked at those seven. Similarly, being in me, you are there in the form of Kundalini. Please look at my chakras to get them activated and bless them by traversing through them, and give my body the strength to handle the energy when you are ascending up. If I don't prepare my body for your ascension, then I will go mad. Therefore, in Sri Vidya Sampradaya and Kundalini Yoga, it's always recommended to do the guidance and yoga under the guidance of a guru who has experienced it herself or himself. Since we cannot get access to such gurus in Kali Yuga, you and I have to pray to the lotus feet of that Guru Mandala Rupini to guide us to realize our best. Not everybody needs to have the Kundalini awaken, but experiencing the awakening of Kundalini is the highest form of intoxication. Once you taste it, there is no going back. That is the reason people who do the Kundalini yoga and taste the vibrating Kundalini or the awakening Kundalini once or twice, they will continue to long for that intoxication, which is much stronger, intense, and higher than any material attachment or material, you know, um, usage that we get to, whether it's drugs, wine, alcohol, or physical pleasures. They all get dwarfed and belittled before this taste of Paramanandam, right? Advaitanandam leads to Brahmanandam, Brahmanandam leads to Paramanandam. There is nothing superlative. Parama Anandam. This is the supermost happiness. And that supermost happiness is where the yogis in the Himalayas who don't wear any clothes sitting in the minus 20s, 30s, 40s in freezing temperatures are able to focus because of this Kechari mudra, the different mudras and bandhas they do, which continues to protect their body in that samadhi state. This is a brief attempt at that slokam. Stay blessed. In the next class, we will discuss the next slokam. Manasvi, can you chant Mangalam Guru Shri Amma?
मङ्गलं गुरुश्री चन्द्रमलीश्वरगे शक्तिगणपति शारदाम्बिके शङ्कराचार्यनिगे कालभैरवगे काली दुर्गगे वीरधीरासूरहनुमा मारुतिचरणगे मङ्गलं गुरुश्री
Stay blessed, and we will meet in the next class. Shri Matre Namaha.